write, words I didn't ask for nor liked. But I carried the weight of them anyway, like extra books in my book pack. It weighed me down. See, white folks smiled a little too long, stared in confusion, wondering if I might be one of them, until I opened my mouth and my melanin flowed out. Black folks always asking me, "What are you?" A question disguised as curiosity, but their glare scared me over for clues. Eyeing my hair texture, the shape of my nose, and the way I walked. I paid very close attention to the rhythm of my voice, trying to pin me down as if my shade was a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit anywhere they tried to place me. I stood on the out. I stood out on the edge, looking in, wondering if Black folks saw me as kin, contradiction, or sin. I didn't ask to be this shade. God made me this way. But over time, I learned to love the skin I'm in without shame, and I embraced the curls in my hair, the shade of my skin, and the passion in my voice when I say, I'm Black too. And now I look back at that young girl wearing acid wash jeans, acid wash baggy jeans, sorry y'all, rocking an asymmetrical haircut and looking mean, just trying to fit in. She learned how to shine without asking permission, whether her Blackness was accepted or not. She learned to stand taller, speak a little louder, and adjust her crown and began wearing her skin because no matter what space she stood in, she was Black too. She was a poem written in a human form, a poem that nobody could rewrite, not even if you walked 100 miles in her shoes, even if you traveled the same roads, you would never understand all she's been through. To some, she will never be Black enough, not deep enough rooted in Blackness. Some will always feel she's too light to carry the weight of being Black and to know what Black is. But whatever my Black is or isn't, my Black runs deep through the backwoods of Chatham, Louisiana, the enchanting forests of Hinckley, Minnesota. So yes, I am Black too. It's unfortunate we live in a world where eyes are too distracted measuring my melanin to see the beautiful Black woman within. In peace. Thank you. Oh, and if y'all would, I got two more books. If anybody want to go grab one, got two more books here, and then I have some of my other books with me. If you guys would like to purchase a book today.
Thank you. All right, give Rob another hand. That's one of our faves. And I want to shout out to TBA Live, aka Jermaine Trotter. He's here. He's got free tickets for Universal Soul Circus that's coming up. And so keep your tickets, because your tickets going to serve as two purposes. One for the book, and then we'll do a raffle for free tickets. Okay? So when is it? August, it opens August 6th. So thank you, TBA Live. Give me a hand. Thank you for supporting. Okay, so now you all, or we all know Tisha Campbell as actress and comedian. But today we're going to meet Tisha Campbell, mother, and author. Okay, so I need y'all to kind of transition your minds a little bit. Because she has this wonderful book that's coming out that's dealing with her life, her journey as a mother with a child with autism. It's called The A Word. And so I'm excited about that. And so I'm going to bring Danya. Danya, where's Danya? Did she leave? She was standing right there. Okay, hold on. Danya's going to introduce Tisha. Oh, there she is. Okay, so Diane's going to introduce Tisha. We're going to bring her out. Going to make a whole bunch of noise. I'm going to get my videos because, I got to get videos nowadays. Y'all know that's the way of the world. And then they're going to have a chat. They're going to take pictures. And that will be it. A hole in the seat. A hole in the seat. We got to fill in that seat. No, that's her mother. Oh, I knew that. You see her mother, right? I was just being extra like I am. So I have a wonderful opportunity of actually moderating the conversation with Tisha Campbell. If I mispronounce anything, y'all blame it on my Texas rectification, okay? I do. We do. We mispronounce some stuff, okay? And it's going to be some stuff mispronounced. So, and I'm okay if Tisha correct me, okay? I'm just getting that out the way. Then we're going to do this. I want us, when I bring her out here, I want us to be very happy, loud. This is her pre-order. This is her book launch. This book, that means she came to North Texas. She came to North Texas first. And Y'all know I am that person. I say keep those authors on the 13 County Book Tour because they're gonna miss the best in Texas. I look at us as we deserve to be the voices, the people in the room, and for somebody to take the time out of their schedule to come to the Doc Bookshop. All hail to the queen. That's what I said. All hail to the queen. And plus, I'm a '90s girl. If I could do the dance, I would do the dance. Don't know. I would do my house party dance right now. And the dance she showed Kid and Play. They showed Kid and Play some of those dances. Don't get it twisted. So if I could, I do my hair, my tennis shoes on. She has her heels on, but we're not going to do that to y'all. We're going to go into the conversation. If you look around you, our past authors have been Deion Sanders, Pam Grier, Jane Kennedy, LL Cool J, Omar Epps, Al Sharpton, Dr. Ibram Kendi, Two Chains, Jeezy, Tyrese. I say that. You know why I say that? I'm not trying to go down a list of names. Why did I say that? There's not a woman on that list, right? Men have been holding us down for the 18 years we've been here in this location. This is not a store that got up, moved, pop up here, did this here. 18 years, right? So this is why this conversation is even more important to us. This is a woman telling our story, sharing our story, sharing our love, our pain, triumph, just being very transparent. And I love her for this. So, without further ado, Tisha Campbell began her extensive career at the tender age of 3, successfully spanning 5 decades in all show business genres, including singing, acting, directing, producing, and writing. Campbell just completed filming a movie for the AMC Black network called Operation Auntie. Operation Auntie, y'all, we just had a program here called Aunties and Uncles. Yeah, so we are on the same journey, on the same path, which premiered in August 25. She will also appear opposite of at Ethan Hawke and Keith David in the new series called The Lowdown. And that they actually debuted in September 2025. So she has a long history, many roles. Campbell is best known for her roles opposite Damon Wayans. Everybody know My Wife and Kids. As Gina is iconic, and everybody know the other show. What is the name of the show? Introducing Tisha Campbell to the Doc Bookshop stage. Oh, stand up. Red Mama, you got this front row seat up here. Okay. She's, all right. Hi. Hi. Can we get that again? Can we get one more applause? I want to be Texas now. Now, I told you I was showing off. Now, even though she's a Jersey girl, I've been showing off because I think Texas got everything that the literary world needs. So the fact that she's here, I am just so excited. So, yeah, I told her we was going to do the dance, my house party there. I said, I got you, dog. I got tennis shoes. I ain't even got heels on. I've been, all over the place. Okay. Might sound nice. There you go.
Hi, y'all. Hey. I'm so excited to be here at the dock.
Thank you for coming out. I truly appreciate it. Before we jump into the conversation, you guys have not read the book. I am not going to do a lot of spoilers. This is an amazing word. I started with the foreword. Let me tell you, for my personal journey, I read the foreword by Holly Robinson Peake. Everybody know who that is, right? And she has been such a great supporter of the Doc Bookshop. I am a single mom. And in that, even though it's talking about autism, that forward was so precious and powerful.
I cried when I read it. Wow. Because it was so powerful, and it was a testament to our friendship and how she's a giver. I know she talked about me in it, but she's such an amazing person, and she was the person who helped me when my son was first diagnosed.
Before we jump into the diagnosis, you spent a decade making audience laugh,
Yeah,
cry,
Yeah.
and cheer. What does it mean now to welcome readers into the most personal part of your life?
Ooh, it's scary. I feel exposed. I've been fighting it for so long to and all I know is the mask, of and most Black women understand this too. We lean into the strong Black woman trope and we just keep it moving and we keep a smile on our faces and we pretend like there's nothing wrong. We're not allowed to be vulnerable or emotional or sad or angry. We just keep it moving. And my entire life, that's how I've always operated.
Let me. We see all these clips about Tisha Campbell. There's just all this, the narrative.
Yes.
She wrote it in her book. You don't have to go to social media no more to figure out what Tisha do, or even let somebody give you sound bites. You
It's the
can go.
real.
She was in the age of AI, GPT. She told them that no, I'm writing my story.
And that was the other thing. I had decided that, well, I always wanted to be an author. Like, except my stupid brothers took my poetry book to my school at 7 years old and shared it with the whole school. And people are coming to me through the hallway giving me, quoting my poems to me. So I quit that goal. But what started happening recently is that I started doing stand up and I started going all over the country. And then while I was going all over the country, people would often come up to me and ask me questions about autism, ask me questions about my son. And my writing partner, Danny Wright, she kept pushing me to try to write the book. She was like, "You got to write it. People are asking for it. They need it. The culture needs it. Our people need it." And I was like, "I don't know if I want to live through that again." Like it's the most exposed and vulnerable I've ever been. And so once, there were so many people coming up to me asking me questions, and we do understand that autism is on a spectrum and everybody's different, but still they wanted to know what I did. And so I decided that it was important for me to do it, not knowing that once I started seeking a publishing house, all of these publishing houses wanted me to be salacious and mean and do a tell all. And that's not who I am. And listen, I gave a lot of people a lot of grace in this book.
She did.
I did. But still in all, I wanted to still be truthful. And while I was shopping my book with the publishing houses, I would just turn and leave the room if they were asking me to be that person. And finally, with Amistad Publishing House, that's with HarperCollins, they got it. They understood that I wanted to help people. But the other thing is, they tricked me, girl. They tricked me because when I handed them my manuscript, they were like, "Okay, so who helped you?" And I was like, "No, no one helped me." Well, okay, right. Who's your ghostwriter? And I was like, "No, I don't have a ghostwriter. I wrote this myself." And they were like, "You did this?" And I said, "Yeah." "With no help?" I said, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh my God, you don't need a ghostwriter. You can finish this." I said, "You think I'm a real writer?" They're like, "Yeah, you can write this yourself." That was the hardest work I've ever done in my life. I've never had so much work. But it's the most fulfilling I've ever been and most healing.
I'm telling you, she gave us nuggets because she was really committed and dedicated to writing this memoir. But I know in certain parts of it, she can do a spin-off in certain words. I believe she wanted to be an author, and I think she's going to be the author for us for the next decade or so. As we get into our older years, I can say that I could see a lot of literary work coming from her, even if she dive down the fiction road, because we know.
I am actually diving down.
Ooh, don't make me get up and drive.
I know.
They got this music on the next door. I might start
No, I
doing like
love it.
that.
No, one of my favorite authors is Zora Neale
Oh,
Hurston.
Lord,
That's my yeah, that's my girl. Like I just love her. To me, I compare her to Shakespeare because once you get into the dialogue and you really start to like let it engulf you, like there's nobody like her. And so I love the way that she places words and you can actually hear it in your head. It's so beautiful. And so when I was writing, I would, channel her because I really wanted people to hear my voice on the page, you know?
This is my. I think we go ahead and do DNA testing. I think we are actually related. I know, right? I'm just crazy, like, but Zora, she said Zora Neale Hurston. That's so amazing. I wanted Black culture. We tend to try to hide things, camouflage things, not say it. But you came out early on. You told when your child first got diagnosed. You talked about autism. You were not scared, and especially when we try to hide things. I said he's going to get over it. He's going to go beyond that. But before we jump into the story, I want to say the title, the A word, is powerful.
I tried to change that many times. But they kept saying that same thing you were saying. Why? Why is it powerful to you?
I had a lot of places I was going to go with it, but then I understood her journey because I studied her Facebook page and I knew that it was going to come off to say talk about autism. But I said there's so much that A stands for: acceptance, availability, all those things.
Advocacy.
Advocacy. Oh my God, advocacy is all in this book. We got a lot of people that advocate for autism here today, but there's so many words A stands for. I was like,
But also I think that it's a word in our culture, especially when Zen was diagnosed back in 2001, 2002. It wasn't a word that we um accepted. And so, it was something that we kind of stayed away from. Oh, that boy, all right. He hit his head. He be all right. He like knocking his head up against the wall. Like we would just, oh, that's just Bubba over there. Bubba fine. Just leave him in the corner by himself. It would, and the other thing about that is that resource wise, we never had the doctors and the teachers and the resources and the people who would help us with our children. So the A word, the reason why I stayed with that title is because it was unsaid in our culture.
silence.
It was silenced.
Wow. What'd you say?
It was
Yes.
silently killing us. Yes, ma'am.
And for her to dive into it and for her to have friends around. And I love this part of it. Sometimes we get on the phone, we get on the horn, we want to call 20 people, our friends, our closest relatives, and we want to talk about just to feel comfortable. But I like it. Earlier on, she wrote a letter. She wrote an email. So she was a writer. She was always a writer, and just putting it on paper and pleading with them, asking for friends to pray for her. Why did you feel it was important just to get that versus calling everybody versus
Well, I didn't want to have to continuously repeat myself over and over because some of the feedback, some people were very open, family, friends, but then there were some who was like, oh, what is that, a Hollywood disease? Like they would say things like that to me, and to me that was so harmful. And it's so important to, when you have a child on the spectrum, to accept the diagnosis. You don't have to accept the label, but if the sooner you accept the diagnosis, the more you can get on the train to advocacy. And so I just felt it was so important to write a letter so that and do the research. So I was on the internet trying to, answer all the questions that could be asked. But I think the more important thing was the fact that I had a therapist come in really early on and said, if everybody's not on the same page, it's like and they do things that are opposite of what we do with therapy and what you do in your household or the rules for this particular situation you're in. If they don't adhere to it, then it's like deleting it and erasing everything you did that day and starting all over. And I couldn't put my son in a position to start all over and hit reboot every single day. I actually had this one family member who, I would say we can't let them watch a lot of television. You can't feed them gluten and a bunch of sweets. And at the time, she was like, he's fine, he'll be all right, and would do it anyway. And so then I noticed that there would be a difference in the way that he would act when we were doing therapy. And so I had to go to her and say, let me tell you something. If you can't accept the word autism, if you don't listen to the therapist, if you don't listen to me, you'll never see my child again. That was somebody like very close to us. That was a real, like, immediate family member. And we had to check them because you're not going to delete and I have to hit reboot every single day. It's going to set us backwards, set him backwards. So as an advocate, there were times where I had to step forward, and with that email where I sent a letter to everybody, expressing what autism was, what I needed from them as family members or friends. And if you weren't flying at 30,000 feet with us, jump off the plane because I ain't got no time for you.
Use that one. Wow, that's a powerful statement right there. I'm gonna use that 30,000 feet. You ain't rolling with me. Jump off the plane. Oh my gosh, that's
You're
a
not
good one.
flying as high as
Oh my
us,
God, you ain't
where
flying
we
as high.
where we are.
We got a journey. We on our way. We got a direction going.
That's right.
I am going to say, while this is fresh on everybody's mind, I did have another question, but you mentioned therapist. Can I say that
Lorna Kyle,
Lorna Kyle, she is actually,
Cedric the Entertainer's
yeah.
wife.
No, I thought it was the mother-in-law. The therapist was the mother-in-law.
Oh, the therapist.
The therapist that was related to Cedric's wife. So it was.
Oh yes, that was Pam, Dr. Pam Wiley.
Okay.
Yes, that is Lorna's mother-in-law.
Right.
Yes.
Right. See,
In the book.
I read, y'all. I read.
I read.
I read, yeah. So I just want to say that, it's intricately connected because we think Hollywood, oh, they ain't doing nothing. They just up there just trying to make all the money, make money off of Black culture. No, they are actually up there connecting, making real connections and doing a lot of real work. So I read about her therapy office and it was just amazing.
She's incredible.
Yes. And I want to say, early on, you're strong. Your personality is strong. How you jumped in there and advocated for your son is beautiful and unbelievable. But I think we need to recognize your upbringing, your foundation. And I have to say that because, as a child, I used to get on a bus. I used to do everything. I had to be independent because my mother had a business. And so I was always with my brothers. They had to do things, and I had to make my way while they were trying to make a living, her and my father. So I was the oldest of three boys. And so when I seen that, man, she advocated for herself. She told her mom's over there.
I was 12.
She was 12. And she said, I'm getting on the subway because
Because they was making me late to all my jobs. And the bills was coming. I was helping. Like, I started helping and understanding how poor we really were. Because I'm from the projects. I know I play a lot of bougie roles. But I'm from the projects in North New Jersey. And yeah, thank you. Are you Jersey? And so my mother is here. Hi, Mom. And my mother and my father would have to take off work and try to get me through that Lincoln Tunnel to go to like auditions and stuff like that. And they just always was late. And Broadway waits for no man. So with Broadway, they would dock your pay $50 for every 5 minutes that you're late.
Ooh.
Yes. And so I was like, y'all messing up our money. This is me at 12. Y'all are really messing up our money. How we gonna help pay the light bills and stuff if y'all keep messing up? So at 12, some kind of way, and she hates it to this day because she was like, that was bad parenting. But they still had to work. I had three other brothers that they had to provide for. And so, I convinced them to let me go to New York by myself. And I was like, listen, Mom, all I need is $20 for the week. I'll eat hot dogs from the cart every day for lunch. But y'all, we can't do this. Y'all messing up our bills, right? So some kind of way I did. And I'm so glad that she allowed me to advocate for myself. She bought it. She bought it hard. Both of them did. Well, her especially. But I'm glad that she did. I mean, back in the day, we were latchkey and everybody had to work.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Contribute.
this book was so relatable to me, and it's probably relatable to everybody out there.
Yeah, whether you have autism or
Yeah,
not.
it goes on so many different levels. This book, if you're not have a child that has autism, but you had your like me, I'm a single mother, and I related to this book early on. Everything she talked about that her son was facing, I was facing that. But Zen was dealing with things on another level, but still, it was difficult. So everybody, shameless plug, everybody can get something out of this book. And so if you have not gotten it, get it. And if you have organization, make sure it's a great reading project. I always encourage group reading, group conversation. And this is one of those books that deserves a group conversation on just community building, building personal relationships, friendship. And I'm going to say this friendship thing. I know everybody's out there. Well, one of her best friends is Tashina. How did Tashina play a role in this book? My girl is running around, which is my business partner, Donna Craig. She's running around here somewhere. But I looked at their relationship. I said, dang, that's me and my sister right there. Yeah. So tell us a little bit of how Tashina played a role in your life today and in Zen's life.
So Tashina is Zen's godmother, one of them. My other friend Sahira is also a godmother to him. Both of them I've known since 12 years old. Tashina makes me say 11 and 12 because she wants everybody to know I'm older than her. But I've known them all my lives, and with Tashina specifically, she literally our 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 relationship has always been based on sisterhood, support, and laughter. And there were times that I was at my heaviest. For some reason, this girl will come and swoop in and make me laugh and keep me going. And so she was a really intricate part in making sure that I stayed, and every friend in the book, if you notice, every single one had a, a, a certain position or thing that they would do to keep me going. Everybody didn't serve the same purpose, which was interesting. That's why it really does take a village. But yeah, that's Tashina. She crazy.
I'm, now I want to go ahead and jump in the book because she does have a show tonight. She does have a show in Plano. If you have not gotten your tickets, get your tickets. Oh, we're gonna talk about the show towards the end. She give me no shameless plug. I know we're recording. The show is tonight at 7 o'clock in Plano. It's a comedy show.
7 and 9.
7 and 9. We may have extra tickets. I don't know if it might be sold out. It was on K104 today, and yesterday, so it may be sold out. But real quick, I'm going to go back into the book. Um, just a little bit more question. I'll take a couple of questions from the audience, and then we're going to do photos and just continue to love on her and her work. Um, every parent remembers a moment of life change. Can you take us back to when Lynn was diagnosed, and what were you actually feeling when he was diagnosed?
Yeah, so in the book, I talk about I was actually on the set of My Wife and Kids. And for those who don't know, Damon Wayans is one of the most kind persons that I've ever worked with, and was very, was pushing me to, have a family. Now's the time. We're going to be here at this job for a while. He set up a nursery in my dressing room to make sure that I could bring my son to work every day. And he was just wonderful. And the family atmosphere was so beautiful that we would just hug each other all the time. Like we'd see each other all day long, be rehearsing all day, walk past each other, hug each other like we had never seen each other. But this particular time, when I was walking down the hallway, I was on my way into the stage to go rehearse. I get a phone call from my pediatrician, and she says, I need for you to come in. I was like, oh my God, what do you mean? There's no way I can come in right now because we are trying to get into the Christmas. It was around November, December. So Christmas is coming up and we have to double up on our show. So I have no time to get there. Is there anything you can share with me over the phone? And she said, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And my heart dropped into my stomach. And so then I said, what are you going to tell me? My son's autistic. I never even used that word before in my life. Wow. I don't know why God threw that up in there right there like that. but that's the word that came slithering out of my mouth. And it was too late to take it back because she said, "Yes, I think he is." And my knees buckled and I fell on the floor. And I was very grateful that none of my cast members were around because I'm one who never ever shows my it that where like I have issues or problems when I'm at work. I keep my personal stuff to myself. I don't make other people feel uncomfortable with my ish. So it was very important that nobody was there. And I'm so glad they weren't because I collapsed and tears just started falling down my face. And I said, "What do I do?" And she said, "Here's the name of a person." And the ugly thing about getting this, and it wasn't even a diagnosis yet. The ugliest thing is that time is not on your side, but then they make you wait online. They don't care what you do for a living. They don't care. It's just to get a call back to make an appointment.
Right.
It takes so much time. It could take 6 months for them to call you back just to make an appointment for 6 months later. And they weren't servicing Black folk too. So, um, but the thing about me is I'm very, very aggressive and I don't really hear no until the third one. You got to really, really, really say no to me. Oh, you said no. I said no 5 times, but I don't hear it. I don't hear it. And when it comes to my kids and my family, I'm super, super aggressive. That's the other side of me that nobody ever really gets to see. And so I got real aggressive. Even if somebody was like, "Oh, you're going to be on the waiting list," I still called them every single day until somebody picked up that phone and called the crazy lady back because that's how I felt. I knew Holly had put that in my mind when I first got that diagnosis that you don't have time to wait, get everybody on the same page and fight. You have to advocate. And they're not going to give it. They're going to pocket it like it's their money. The funds are there. The hours, you can make the hours happen. When I say hours, I'm referring to like if you needed speech therapy, they're only going to give you one a week. And I was like, I need three. And then my baby, even though at some point Zen, I could tell he could understand everything that I was saying around him. I would explain to him, "Listen, I'm gonna make you sound way worse than what you are right now," because I needed to get the fun. I needed to get the I needed to get him hours. And so I'm just really aggressive like that. I hope I answered your question about
You
the first
did, and
diagnosis.
it sparked something in me, what my brother always tell me. I never take, that's why I think we might be related. I never take no from a person who does not have the power to say yes. So, he said, "God, you get stuff done, but you just don't take no. You just kind of drill, drill, drill. Especially when you're raising sons, young men, you have to kind of just drill and get the needs, get what they need, what is important." I have one more question. I'm gonna turn it over a little bit to the audience, just a couple of questions, and then we're gonna go into a photo and what have you. Um, Advocacy. We're going to do the A word. We're going to jump into a little bit of advocacy. You're going beyond sharing your story. You become an advocate, helping you rewrite legislation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, to better support families of color.
Mhm.
Why was that so important?
Because we don't have the resources, we don't have the trained professionals at the time, and they're not in our neighborhoods. And so we get misdiagnosed all the time. We or not diagnosed at all, or put in jail because they don't understand our differences. And what they see as a difference, they look at it as behavior issues. And so it came to us through, I want to say a lawyer or I forgot. They came to us and said, "There's this bill that is up for, up to be relooked at." And nobody on the Hill wanted to deal with it because it was backed by someone that no Democrat, no liberal, nobody liked. and I understood it. But what happened was we were able to work with these lobbyists to rewrite the bill. None of the money was already allocated for this particular bill. So the money was there. We just rewrote it so it was more fairly dispersed between our people and people of color. And so we were able to go. They gave me, I was working on this detective show. I was a series regular. They gave me the day off to go to Congress to fight for this bill. And I had to, it was, the group was called Colored My Mind. And it was five mothers. I was the only actor or person who was of artist status. The other women were a housewife, a caretaker, um, a lawyer, a business manager, and a principal of a school. And we three mothers became each other's support system. And then once they brought this to us, we had to go to the Hill and convince people that we rewrote it and the money's there and it's a good bill. And it was a bipartisan issue. We needed them to understand that it was a bipartisan issue, that it wasn't a bipartisan, well, it wasn't a bipartisan issue, that we all could benefit from it. And we were able to go there, and everybody, whether they were conservative or not, they they backed the bill, and President Obama signed it. And it was the reallocation of the Autism Act.
Hey, give her a round of applause. That is tremendous. That is so tremendous. That's a great one to end up on. I, and talk about autism. I just had to add, this, I guess I need to go there. I don't really.
Please, I'm
Okay.
here now. We
I'm-
did it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. As a single mother, I had to do a lot on my own. I did get help from one of the gentlemen, he's in here today, his wife, Kelvin and Frida Crawford. Go ahead and stand. Go ahead and stand, please. Yes. Yeah, I want to, and they're here. And it's so much without my son having his father around. How important, we talk about women in this book, but how important it is for the men and how I'm trying to keep this as clear as possible because I know how I feel about my baby daddy. But it is what it is. I just said it all over kind of platforms. But how important is it for men to understand and how do they take this type of diagnosis and how do they relate to children who are dealing with this?
It's so important because, right now, even today, Zen is 24 years old. And we are still trying to find male role models who have an understanding, male role models who could help him, because I can't teach him how to be a man. And regardless of whatever his diagnosis is. So it's so important that they learn about it, that they support, that they're involved in the caretaking. And it was partially, I take full responsibility because I moved everybody out of my way so that I could pour all of my concentration into my son. Um, and I wasn't able to have the support that, and again, I take responsibility for that as well. Trying to be the main caretaker, trying to do it all. I wish I had someone next to me that could have helped in the way that I needed. But again, I leaned on the strong Black woman trope. And I think that one of the things, and I'm kind of veering off for a second, but I think that one of the things that a lot of people, oh, I'm so sorry, the feedback. Can I trade with you for a second? Because I don't want them to have to, still, I think it's me. Um, I in the book itself, and I know we're talking about men, but I have to lean more to what I know. Whether you're male, female, father, mother, or just a caretaker of an autistic person, you can't do this by yourself. It just doesn't work for your nervous system. It doesn't work for your mental health. And I thank God that I had a village, but still, when you have this diagnosis, you tend to start to be a loner and want to do it all, because if I don't do it, how am I going to look as a mother? So a lot of times there's caretaker burnout, and that's something that I think a lot of people can relate to. Like, I have cursed out a lot of people in this here book. I mean, a lot. And there were moments where the way that I set it up, I allowed the reader to figure out what was wrong with me at that moment, because I put every single scenario that could have been. It could be because I cussed this person out, because it could have been I was just tired. It could have been because I wanted to make sure it's my child and I want to do it on my own. It could have been definitive. And God was like, you need to move this out of the way. It could have been so many reasons why I got caretaker burnout. And it's a real thing. And you got to seek out whether it's a village or some oh God, what is it called? See, that's when menopause start kicking in.
I know that brain fog is something serious, honey. It's something serious.
What's the caretaker care when you get not the hospice, Tisha. When you respite aid, somebody to help you, a babysitter or something. You gotta get away from it sometimes, because it's all encompassing, and it will engulf your life, and it will only be about that. And there were many times where you will see that I lost it. But then also in this book, what's crazy is some kind of way I incorporated wit and comedy and all the other things that I am. So there's the deeper parts and the heartbreaking parts, but then there's also light, love, information, and hope. There's so much hope in this book that everybody could relate to. And I mean, there's going to be laughter, guys. It's me. I can't help
It
myself.
is. Early on,
It
too.
is right. It's me. But yeah, that was the purpose. I hope I answered that. I did really, but that's okay. We need you.
Well, yeah. I think we won't try to put that out there the best way we could. We just gonna let it go.
We need you, because sometimes we need somebody to support us as we're supporting somebody else.
Okay, questions from the audience. I'm getting my time signals here. Oh, just three. Okay. Right. Okay, we're gonna do questions. Great
I
questions.
can actually do at least 5 questions.
Okay,
Five?
Yeah.
we're gonna do questions.
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Yep, we got.
And 5. We had to go 6 for you.
Okay, 6 is fine.
No.
That's fine. 6 is fine.
So I love that you mentioned caretaker burnout. I think about my youngest and getting her diagnosis, advocating for her IEP and things like that. But I wanted to know, like, what do you recommend for folks to do for themselves to prevent that caretaker burnout? Because I know I'd be feeling it at times and completely forget I need to be taking care of myself to be there and be my full self for her.
Well, we as a people, we usually put our kids first, period, right? And we forget about ourselves because we're on our grinds and we're trying to take care of everything and everybody. But girl, how you gonna give to people if your well is dry?
Yeah.
You can't. So my recommendation, like I said, is, I don't know, in California, they have this place called the Regional Center where they make, once your child is officially diagnosed, they can offer respite aid care, which is basically a babysitter comes in and gives you a break for an hour or 5 hours or whatever it is your needs are. I'm sure that they have it somewhere in Texas as well. I'm not really, educated on the resources that you have here, but that's one. You gotta walk, you gotta take care of yourself, you have to take some time away. And I know that's hard. It's hard because you don't want to. And even when you're away, your mind is still there.
Well, she ain't gonna let me quit her, as you
Yeah, she ain't quit. It's not quits for you, baby. Yeah, but and you have to just figure out some space. And you know what I've been doing lately? Because I have to share this too. I just got diagnosed myself. Yes, I just got diagnosed myself, and my therapist kept sending me to saying, "You need to go get tested." And so I've been masking my entire life. That's not in the book, so this is I'm sharing with you guys. This happened after the book, actually. Um, and I've been masking with my loudness and my jokes. And so what you're seeing is part of the beginning of the healing of me taking my mask off. And so I went and I saw two specialists and I took 12 tests each, so 24 tests. And it came back that I have ADHD, which is I have ADHD and I have autism as well, autistic tendencies, a lot of them. And so I've been hiding it. Um, and now I'm not. And thank you. Tashina said, "Well, B, I knew you was loud. I could have told you that. You could have saved your money." But even more so now that I have the official diagnosis. I'm level 1, autism. And now that I have the official diagnosis, there's a lot of things that make more sense to me of how my auditory processing disorders, my auditory processing differences, the stimming that I hide from everybody. The only time I'm allowed to I allow myself to rock is in church because y'all think it's a spirit. So I'll rock there and I'm free to do it there. There are many times just now, I'm trying to keep myself. Sometimes I'll just do this so I can realign myself. But all this time I had no idea that he got it honestly.
Wow.
And but what that also allowed me was to rev at 1,000, because I got super focused on his his diagnosis. You know what I mean? So
Thank you.
yes.
Who got the second question? Where Donna go?
Right here. My question is, I have a son that has autism, and I was wondering, how did you deal with the teachers at the school that always babyfied them? Because that's what I get when he comes back home to me. He's always babied at school, and he's 11, going on 12, and they still do it to this day. So how did you deal with that?
Thank you. That's a great question. There's a whole section in this book about Zen at school. What I did was I found I was searching all of these different schools because whether they were babying them or I even went to the local public school, and that particular public school was actually, it was in the hood, and I don't mind that because that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? But what they were doing with all the kids there, they were feeding them for breakfast these big A cinnamon buns with all this freaking frosting on it and the orange juice, and all the kids are spinning out of control. And they want to put my son on medication because you just fed him a big cinnamon bun. You know what I mean? And not only that, they would baby him or try to put a weighted vest on him. Yeah. If he liked that, that's fine, but he didn't like it. They were just trying to get through their day. Yeah. And so what I wind up doing is I went to a school, finally found a school of people that I knew that was already in my village, right? And at the school, I asked the principal if I could talk to the kids like an assembly before he started the school, to talk to them about what autism was and how and the teachers, and to say, I need for you to treat him like a regular kid, like a typical, not regular, excuse me, a typical kid. And I need for you guys not to baby him. I did a whole speech on it and even was at the whiteboard, like drawing things out about how the brain works, how his brain might work. Like I drew one long line and an A point and a B point, and then I drew the squiggly line, A point and a B point, and then I was like, this is how he thinks. This is how, but we still get there. But he needs your help to get him to be. And you can't baby him. You have to treat him and hold him accountable. So that it was important for me to put Zen in a school that had typical peers as well, so that he could mimic. Now, I had a choice to put him in a special needs school, but he went for a couple of days. But when I saw him picking up the things that other kids were doing, it wasn't good for him. And they didn't have enough teachers anyway, with like 30 students and all having different special needs. So going to the school, asking for an assembly in that particular class, working with the teachers, also having a one-on-one. If you can get somebody to, do a one-to-one, that means like a shadow, all of, and having the shadow make sure that everybody's on the same page. So that's what I did, was to have an assembly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Big fan of your huge catalog of work.
Thank you, sir.
And my question pretty much is disrobing to do a project like your book. Are there similarities in disrobing to do live comedy to those two things?
I'm sorry, what was the question? My apologies.
For you to be transparent and disrobe in order to do a book like that, do you find similarities in disrobing in front of a live audience to do comedy?
Oh, got it. Okay, yes. It's two different muscles that's being like dealt with. Like the one where I'm on stage and doing the comedy, that one is more me finding the joy in the journey, and me being able to not have a screen between me and you, not have anybody writing a script for me. This is my real life, my real stories, even sharing it on social media. And I have to say, I was not one who wanted to share with the world. I'm very protective of my kids. But especially, with Zen, once I saw Love on the Spectrum, yes, I saw Love on the Spectrum, and I saw how people were loving on and seeing the beauty in the differences that are our kids. Once I saw that, I was able to share a little bit more freely. So being on stage and sharing becomes different, because it's about the laughter and the joy of the beautiful devastation that I went through. Because everybody feels like, devastation and change can be hard, and it is, but there's also so much beauty that you can find in that. Now, doing it here was a whole other ball game, because I'm completely stripped down in a way where this book is so raw that one of the people who did a blurb for me was a amazing writer, producer, director named Malcolm Lee. He happens to be Spike Lee's cousin, but his body of work is huge. He did gosh, Best Man, yes, the Best Man, all the Best Man Chronicles he wrote, and also did the book. Yeah. He did Undercover Brother. He did Girls Trip. He directed that. So he's a really great writer. And when he wanted to do the blurb, I sent it to him and he read the entire book. He was like, "Oh my God, Tisha, I have so many questions." And he was like, "You are such an amazing writer." I was like, "You think I'm a good writer?" Coming from him, like, and the other thing about this is I figured out something, how I am really smart. Like, if you get rid of the trauma, and the menopause. There was a plethora of vocabulary words just sitting on top of my doggone head that I didn't even know was there because I'm so used to minimizing myself or making other people feel comfortable or not sharing my angst, my upsets. I kept that smile, that mask on, and I always compare it to the drama and comedy mask. I always wore this mask. You got to understand, even when I walk out of my door, out of a gate, or wherever at my house, I'm at work. As soon as I walk out, somebody's going to take a picture. Somebody's going to want to talk to me. Somebody's going to yell, Gina. And it's not my son. My other son is here too. That's Ezekiel over there. You guys wave. He calls me Gina. He don't call me mommy. So I'm used to it. But being disrobed made me understand how much I had been masking my entire life to make other people feel comfortable. And this and stand up are so healing for my soul because now people get to see me for me and not a character that I'm playing. For the first time in my life, I get to be my beautiful, from the projects, loud, soft, creative, upset, sad, happy, and I'm finding the joy through it all through this beautiful devastation. So disrobing is a combination of the two. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna stand up. Hello,
Hello.
quick question.
Yes.
So Zen is now 24.
Yes.
So how is the resources for him at 24?
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
what is he doing now at 24?
It's hard when they become adults and they age out of the system. But, you know, right now in California, what they're doing is they have, oh, let me go back. So in the book, there's this woman named Dr. Pam Wiley. She is Lorna Kyle, who is Cedric the Entertainer's wife. It was her stepmother. She's the very first person who ever helped me. She started a speech and language therapy center with $5,000 to her name. She don't care who you are. She don't care what your status is. She will never say no to a client. And she often leans towards people of color because we don't have the same resources, right? So she was somebody who I was able to, dang, what's the question again?
The resources, how's the resources?
Right, resources. That right. So what she did was as her clients grew, she grew, right? So she has like simulated UPS and Outback restaurants at her facility, right? To teach them how to, host, teach them how to bus, teach them how to, deliver packages, all of the things. So there are places that teach your child and grow with your child. Right now, what we were doing with Zen is finding him a good therapist, which was really hard because therapy, there was some people in his family that used therapy as a weapon, like because our children, autistic children, are very, very, very truthful, right? You can't stop them from telling the truth. And so Zen would often be made fun of and say something's wrong with you. You need therapy. And so he was not somebody who he didn't feel comfortable with therapy. We just found him somebody who he could talk to. There's another woman in the book who has her own company. All of these are African Americans who started their own because we didn't have it for, especially for adults. And now Zen, where he is right now, Zen has 2 jobs. I can't stop him. Well, first of all, he's studying to be an animal conservationist. He's in college right now, and he wants to teach. He wants to be a professor at a university for animal studies. Now, how that came about is he used to line his little figurines up like a little in a line, like a train, but he never played with them. He didn't know how to play with them. So what I did was I turned his obsession into a passion. And me and my dad, we would get like videos and flashcards of the animals, and we would teach him how to play with them, teach them how to roar, teach them how to fly. And we really put a lot of time into getting him to change the way that he obsessed over them. And it became taking him to the zoos all the time. Like, we wanted him to really be engulfed in it. He did. And now he's chosen it as a career path. So not only does he go to school, but he also has 2 jobs. And that's something where, when they're grown, even on the spectrum, he's level 2. I still have to let him have his autonomy. So he does not feel right unless he's busy. His mind has to always be busy. So he goes and he works at a camp for typical kids, summer camp, during the day. And then he only has an hour and a half to change his clothes and take a shower and work at a restaurant as a host. Wow. And then he studies as well. And as a mother, I'm like, please, you gotta have some rest. You gotta. And he was like, I like for my mind to be busy. I was like, well, he gonna have to learn on his own. You know what I mean? But I have him with a therapist who understands what Zen is doing, and so he's trying to get him to find the time for his own care. So, because I can't do it, he doesn't want to hear my mouth. Right. So that's what he's up to right now.
Cool.
I want to say that I am excited for what you have done. I've been in this business. I'm an educator. I'm 80 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've been at the college, Tarrant County College. I have no children by choice, but I'm a servant of these young folks.
Thank you.
I have been fighting for the past 30 years at Tarrant County College to get these young people on campus. It was worth the fight for me because somebody fought for me. And you don't say no to me.
That's right.
And so I fought and I won. But the thing that's with me, there were no people who looked like us.
Right. Yeah.
That when I started the fight. You as parents, you must get involved from the very beginning. And thank you for saying removing the mask. We're losing our children, whether you know it or not. Folks don't love our children. You also have to, and the teachers, they are limited to what those teachers can't do everything. So we as parents, we have power to get together. You get together, the women, the mothers, the fathers. If we get together, we can move mountains.
That's right.
I'm not a movie star. I'm 80 years old. I'm a cotton picking woman. I have about 3 degrees. But I believe that our children can succeed. And I'm fighting. It's about time for me to retire now. And I'm worried about what's going to happen to our babies.
That's right.
Because I believe that they can become anything that they want to become. I've seen that. And so parents, you all need to get on the bandwagon and stop sitting back and saying what they can and what can we do. Let me tell you this, you need to plan for those children going to college just like your parents paid for you to go to college. So it's available, but it's an investment. Right. And if you don't invest in your children, nobody else will do it. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I have people who look like the other folks who come to me for their babies. Right. And so I challenge you all. We ain't got time to sit back and say what our babies can and not do. They can do anything they want to do. But you're going to have to believe in them.
Yes.
Stop expecting other people to solve our problem. We must solve our own problems. We need it in churches. Stop getting said, my baby. Ain't nothing wrong with your baby. You created it. Yeah. And it's God's child. And he's just the way they want them to be. Remove the mask. Yeah, I have an autistic babe. I love my baby. Stop playing that game. Nothing is wrong with him. You know something wrong with him, but we don't help him. Right. So it starts in the churches, starts in the schools, it starts in the fraternities, it starts in the sorority. And if we don't do it, we'll be having this conversation when you're dead and gone, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm saying, I teach my babies that they can go to college. We teach our babies that they can work. I don't treat them like babies. When you come to that school, I say they're no longer your baby. They're Dr. Thompson's college student. And so you get out of here and let me deal with it. And I deal with it. So you got to find, it's there. It's there. Keep doing it, sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am.
And I wish you the
We
best.
appreciate it.
Those of you who have the children, we cannot give up on our children. I'm not going to give them to the folks. And so if you all keep sitting, well, Johnny can't read, hell, you better teach him how to read. Let me sit down. I'm sorry. Organization. Did you mention your autistic organization you working with? She did mention the person that I started is First Choice. It's on the Southeast campus. They have not allowed us to extend it to, we have 6 campuses. The other people don't want to do it. So I chose to do it on the Southeast campus in Arlington. And one of the things that people don't want to help these children, they can do more damage. They can do more damage.
Yes.
So I don't want anything forced upon them. But if they come to Southeast, as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna help them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this for her to get up. She loves what Tisha's saying, what she's doing as a parent. She's telling us this is what a parent looks like. This is how involved she is. So yeah, I just want to say.
I'm sorry. Real quick, thank you, first of all, for all of your work that you do for us, for the parents. But she's absolutely right. When I was on the set of My Wife and Kids and I had gotten that diagnosis, I got up and I had washed my face and I pretended like everything was okay. And I walked onto the set like nothing was wrong. And I stood next to this woman. Now, this woman who was on the set, she was one of the parents of a child who was like a guest star that just kept coming back. And she was very nice, but she would often say things to me that were strange. Like, your son reminds me of mine, don't let him be gluten. Your son reminds me of mine, don't let him watch TV. Like, she would just do these drive-by comments. And I'd be like, and so for some reason, when I got the diagnosis, I stood next to her and I whispered, I said, they just told me my son may be autistic. And she said, oh, congratulations. So is mine. So am I. So is my son. And you know what? I've been meaning to tell you, quit hugging on me. Woo! You the most huggy person I know. And then I'm standing there kind of in shock, remembering, yes, she would say these little drive-by comments. And her son was the most brilliant person I would never know in a million years. He was level 1. But then I asked her, I was like, what do I do? And she said, engage. She said, engage, engage, engage. Parents, we have to, this is what she's saying. We just have to engage. We have to be involved in their healing, in advocacy, in their growth. And they can do anything. They can.
Amen.
Yes. It doesn't matter what level it is. It doesn't. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're good. You're good. Last one. It's really not a question. It's more of a statement. My fellow educator, I am right there with you. I have taught students who are on the spectrum from starting at pre-K to ones who can talk and function in everyday classrooms in the school, to those who can't go to the restroom and can't talk, can't use, can't speak rather. And I taught kids with autism in the weirdest place in Germany. That was my first experience teaching there. And they taught me more than I ever poured into them. They are hilarious. They will tell you the truth. They will tell you, I don't like that dress that you have on today in this hallway. And they don't care about your feelings, but it taught me so much. So thank you for using your story as a guide in education for parents in the same situation, new and veterans. And I'm an artist and an educator. I also I teach filmmaking in high school at Booker T for the Performing Arts and at the University of Texas in Arlington. And the most smartest and gifted and talented first year film students are my students on the spectrum. There is hope. They are functioning in college. Whenever other college students kind of roll their eyes, or if they do it because they did an outburst or they ask a question that they deem is not sensible, I am the advocate in the classroom and said, we're going to wait. What's your question? And I thank God for having that early on experience of teaching children with autism in Germany. So I know how to work with them on a higher education level, on a college level. They are functioning, they are thriving. There is hope at the end of the rainbow, and just keep advocating for them because I am an advocate for them in the classroom.
Okay, so we'll do our photos and close it out. Okay, we're gonna have to get the books for everybody at the faculty at the university. I know, right? But this book is so excellent. I can't even iterate. It takes you all, it's funny at the same time. And you can learn on so many different levels and you can build relationships, understand relationships on so many different levels. I expect a lot of organizations, a lot of conferences to work with Tisha on this book because it's just that important for our community, for our culture, and for families. It's that family, community, and culture is what this book gives for us. And so spread the word, tell everybody. Her book comes out September 15th, 2025. They got 15th. September 15th, the book will be out. It will be in the store. We will be rocking with this book. If you didn't get one today, get an extra one today because we can do it for the holiday season. You can give this book. It's going to be a gift that keeps on giving. So order your books and we're going to start the signing. Not a mad dash right now. So I'm going to turn this over to Donna, my business partner, and she's going to direct you in where you should go because we're going to stand up and we're going to hold the book. Before we do that, we're going to do our video. Oh, but just quirky things right now on alert. Yes. Oh, I turned it off. I'm sorry. Okay, before we do the signing or the photos, because she already signed the cards, we're going to do our group pic. Okay, and we're gonna do our video. We gotta do that now. So we're gonna ask Tisha. We have a galley, of course, because book is now. So you're gonna just hold that book up, and we're gonna be behind you, making a whole bunch of noise.
Yes.
But before you do that, though, we're gonna take a picture first. I'm gonna ask everyone to stand. Everyone stand. Stay where you are. Just stand right where you are. And then Miss Tisha, I think you can stay on stage. Okay, we're gonna be loud. First of all, we're gonna do bookish quirky thing, you guys, because we want to spread it. I hate doing this type of stuff. We gotta do it. Okay. Wait, hold on. I got some extra galleys that I want to put up. Can you bring me my extra galleys? Just hold that for me, mother. Hold on. I got some extra galleys.
Yes.
You should make that book on menopause.
No.
Just make it for the men.
Yeah, I have
I
ADD.
should just make it for the men though. You don't
Somebody
understand this thing.
I'll co-write it with
You don't understand it.
Listen, I don't understand. Do that.
We struggle.
I'm just gonna end it. Okay. Okay. All right. So the first one. Now you got your book. Okay. Yep. Come. You got the book. Come. She's being shy, but she actually has a book and she wrote about autism for children. So she. No. Okay. Come on here. Okay. So the first one is just a group photo. So just say cheese. Okay. Hold on. On the count of 3. Oh God. Hold on. So this is our quirky big bookish thing. Okay. Ari, can you?
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, on the count of 3, I'm gonna take the photo. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm gonna do the video. Now on the video, Eric's gonna count to 3, and I need y'all to. Okay, we're gonna do the video now. When I count to 3 or Ariana count to 3, you're gonna count to 3. When Ariana count to 3, I want y'all to say the A word. Okay.
We're going to be loud. They're going to have to hear us on the East Coast. Okay, I'm serious. For real.
Yes. Okay. Hold on. Let me get ready. Okay.
Guys ready?
Make sure you zoom the room too when you do your video. Okay.
And Miss Tisha, I just need you to just kind of shake the book a little bit on the video. Okay.
On
All right.
3.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'm so not good with this stuff.
This way.
You guys are gonna look at her. I'm just on the side.
She's counting.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, wait a minute. I gotta make sure I got it. Hold on. Okay, that was practice.
That was practice. We're gonna do it one more time.
You did a great job. Now, this is the real deal.
All right, you guys ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Give her another round of applause, you guys. People on my video, give her another round of applause. Yes, thank you. What's up in North Texas? Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're gonna escort Miss Campbell to her chair, Diane.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start the line. What we're gonna do, we're gonna just keep it real simple. Where's Miss Carrie? Miss Carrie gonna be our first one. Any other elders in the house? All the elders. Come on, Miss Carrie. Elder is, how old are you? 75 and up. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Mother, can you bring me the card, please? Okay, so if you have the ticket, come closer, Miss Terry. Go step along. Okay, and then start the line behind her. Okay, 65 and up. Come on, 65 and up. All right. So 65 and up, go in line. Okay, the line is here. Everybody else fall in place. Oh, you take it. Okay, Miss Garrett, come on.
They can't call us mothers and other calls. I paid her.
Okay, let's try first, Miss Carrie, see how it goes.
So you know. No. What is that? Yes, yes, I do.
Probably just have one of the words saying I can do it.
I was wondering.
Man, I want to have fun.
You're looking for more, step on the dance floor. Check your coat and your drawers at the door. Come sure you're gonna see a smile today. The bombs of the world seem miles away. The only thing that matters is a good time that can be had with the help of a good rhyme. The DJ's hot wheels up to town. There goes a cutie at the bar, so I still on no road to say hi. And tell her the PLA rock. And we change the answer why. You see a smile, you see, my job is to take your heart. After a couple of seconds, I would be like, having fun, well, I ain't done. That's the shit that comes in.
So they do have tickets still available for the 7 to 9 show.
I've been all right with you. I'm with my friend. No day it makes me noise. You and the girls and me and my boys just feel like pleasure. No rush, no respect. This will be an action book. Yeah, and that's a problem. You take my hand, I'm speaking with you. You'll strike me as a woman. Twice, is your shame. Only just once I want to hear you say, oh, what last, kid? She'll have good fun while it lasts. Hung out with friends, we were skipping it. We gonna do it again. Yeah. There's got to be something we can do. All right, let's go. Shimmy, cocoa pop. Yeah, we try to cross the bar. Just make that. See that. I just don't know, but I tell you what, oh, you can see it, and I just you. And I just want to know if I'm gonna be back. I ain't sure, but I tell you what I do know. If you just me, then I'll kiss you back. Kiss me, and I'll kiss you back. Kiss me, and I'll kiss you back. Kiss me, and I'll kiss you back. You will, you will. You can kiss me, and I'll kiss you back. Just kiss me, and I'll kiss you back. No, I'm hoping that you can go when you but if you do, I really like you, and I just want to make it clear. We're going to keep it very square. Kiss me, and I'll kiss you back. You know, it's not funny. When you kiss what you say to me, like the other one, you play me. If you love me, then I'll love you back. When you can't get the most out of you, pick my heart. No, I'm looking at you because I'm looking when they get me partners. All right, sing it again. Come on. Come on, keep it going. Ladies. You know, I'm ready. That's good. Let's change it. We don't let you go. Sometimes we put you down. People treat you cold when they know you sleep around. We don't want to disrespect you enough, but let's stay one in town. You love me, then I'll love you back. I'm not scared if you're down. I'm hoping that you're here because I'm the one you carry. Kiss me like I'll kiss you back. Lord, you don't really know this, so I guess it's do this. Kiss me then I'll kiss you back. I mean, how about that? It's a Just, well, let's take it one more time. Come on, kick it. Kiss me there. Kiss me there. Kiss me there. Kiss me there. Don't think else to Yeah. Yo, this is pumping. Yo, Shock, this pumping, man. That sounds like something I do. I hear you. Except I feel like this. I'm feeling good. I feel just yo, if you look real cute, I'm gonna do yeah. Take it off. All right, that's enough. That's enough. No, come on. No. Let's just keep it cool. You know what I'm See, I'm gonna go. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to go pop. See, go, go, pop. See, go, pop. See, go, and I'm like, go, pop.
You all keep up with your signing plates when you come in, and we will add it to the bill. Keep up with your signing plates. And please make sure we have your contact number at the front desk. Just make sure we have your contact number at the front desk.
I can tell that I'm a broken man. Got that plan.